Hi, I'm Paul.
Hi, I'm Lucy.
Hi, I'm Helen and I'm a Childline counsellor.
And today we're asking, how do I know if I'm being groomed?
Am I? I don't know yet.
So if you've been watching Corrie lately, you'll know that Bethany Platt, played by Lucy Fallon, has been involved in an upsetting grooming storyline. In Corrie, your character Bethany has been groomed by Nathan. She believes she's in a loving relationship with Nathan, but gradually over time his behaviour is becoming more and more controlling and he's making her do things that she might feel uncomfortable with. Can you talk us through a bit of the sort of stages of the relationship that your character Bethany's been going through?
Yeah, so at first, obviously, Bethany was quite a vulnerable girl when she first met Nathan, and he showered her with lots of affection. He bought her a phone, he bought her quite a lot of recording equipment to make YouTube videos. She felt like she had really built a lot of confidence. So then when they got in a relationship, things started to become a lot more controlling, like you said. He stopped her from seeing her mum, he's stopping her from seeing her friends. All she wants to do is spend time with him, and that's kind of where we're up to at the moment.
So Bethany's becoming more and more isolated from her friends and family.
Yeah, so the only person that she really wants to spend time with is him, and he's kind of forced that upon her.
Yeah. So Helen, what are some of the signs that young people need to be aware of in terms of spotting grooming behaviours?
These situations can start off really nicely and it can be a really good situation to start with. So this person might be showering you with attention, sort of like what you were saying previously. They might buy you things, take you to parties, make you feel really special. What's also really important is that person might make you feel like they can relate to you, like they understand you, like they might be able to relate to your problems, especially if you're in a situation in your life where you might be vulnerable, which, you know, that happens to all of us.
So you can then become dependent on them emotionally, and then also, obviously, if they're giving you gifts, drugs, alcohol, money even.
If they are giving you things, it sometimes might make you feel obligated to them. It might make you feel like you need to do things for them or for other people that you're not comfortable with. And that could be, you know, things of a sexual nature that you don't feel ready for.
So what are some of the things that groomers might make you do as the relationship goes on when they become more controlling?
They might get you to perform sexual acts on themselves or others. Like in Bethany's case, she's been sort of told that she has to sleep with a character called Neil.
It's things like sending sexual messages, sexual images, being made to perform perhaps sexual acts on a webcam that you don't feel comfortable with or ready for. It can be any of those sorts of things.
A groomer can be a man or a woman, and they can be any age, old or young, so that we're not talking about a specific type of person. So it's these behaviours that are important to look out for. You know, a groomer can be from any background. Obviously, your character Bethany, she doesn't know she's being groomed, but there have been moments where she's been a bit uncomfortable or been questioning what's going on, but Nathan's used techniques to sort of take that away from her.
Yeah, so obviously after Bethany was with Neil, she knew that wasn't right, and she was so confused, and she thought that Nathan would be really shocked and annoyed, but he wasn't. So she just was really confused and didn't know what was going on. And then she wanted to go home, and she kept going back to her mum and was trying to wanted to tell her but couldn't because she was scared. And then out of the blue, Nathan proposes to Bethany. So then Bethany kind of switches off from what had happened, and now she's just focused on this, and she's like, well, obviously he loves me because he's just proposed to me, and that's like the most important thing that you could do in a relationship with somebody. Quite a lot of people don't know that they're being groomed, and that's okay because quite a lot of people think that they're in a loving relationship, which is fine because it might seem that way. But obviously, as time goes on, they can be put in a more vulnerable and dangerous situation.
Helen, would you agree? It's like it's never the young person's fault. I think that's a really important point.
Yeah, I think if anything, that might even be the most important point to make, is that it is never a young person's fault. Even if you feel like you're in a loving relationship, if you are being made to do things or tricked into doing things that you're not comfortable with, that is somebody else manipulating you rather than anything that you're doing wrong.
Yeah, yourself.
I think it's so important for young people
And
to
it's
know
not
that.
your fault if you don't realise either.
I think another thing to mention is that it can happen over a really long period of time.
Yeah.
So when you've built up a trust in a person, it's not going to be natural for you to believe that that person is actively seeking to break your trust.
So if you've been watching this video or Bethany's storyline in Corrie and you think you might be being groomed yourself, what should you do? What advice would you have?
One of the most important things to know if you feel like this is happening to you is that there are people that you can tell. You might feel embarrassed or scared, and I think that's perfectly understandable, but it's not your fault, and there are people out there who can support you. It might be the case that you want to talk to Childline first, and I think that's a really, really positive first step. I think it's really important to, when you're ready to tell an adult in your life that you trust, and also really important to know that there are ways of reporting whoever's grooming you also. I mean, we do, as well as getting young people coming through who are being groomed, we also get young people coming through to Childline who are worried about friends. And I think it's really an important step that you've reached out to get support for your friend.
So if you're worried you're being groomed, Childline is always here for you. Thanks so much, guys, for coming in today and speaking to us.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.